Bonjour, bonjour, and welcome to today's lesson. So today we're going to look at the verb avoir, to have, and we're also going to look at expressions in French that use avoir, whereas in English they use être, to be. Also, don't forget to check the French Ignition website. You can contact me via the website. And we have French conversation groups. They're very much fun to go to. And we can arrange for virtual groups as well. So don't let the distance worry you. We can very quickly organize a group for you. Okay, let's get started. So, avoir is an irregular verb. It's one of these where you can't really predict how it's going to go, so you have to know all the parts, the different parts of the verb. You already know a couple of them. You know être, just a bit of revision, to be. It goes je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. And you've also learned the verb venir, to come. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, elle vient. Nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent, elles viennent. Today's verb avoir, to have, is another irregular verb, and this is how it goes. Avoir, to have, that's the infinitive. J'ai, I have. Tu as, you have. Il a or elle a, he or she has. Nous avons, we have. Vous avez, you have. Ils ont or elles ont, they have. So once again, j'ai, tu as, il a, elle a. Nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. So let's look at a few expressions that use avoir in French, but être, to be, in English. J'ai faim. Avoir faim is to be hungry. In English you say to be hungry. In French you say to have hunger. J'ai faim. Let's repeat it a couple of times. J'ai faim. J'ai faim. J'ai soif, to be thirsty, to have thirst in French. J'ai soif. J'ai soif. J'ai chaud, to be hot. J'ai chaud. J'ai chaud. J'ai froid, to be cold. In French, to have cold. J'ai froid. J'ai froid. J'ai peur. J'ai peur, to be afraid. In French, to have fear. J'ai peur. J'ai peur. J'ai mal, to be sore. J'ai mal. J'ai mal. And of course, with all of these, you could also turn them into a question simply by replacing j'ai and using vous avez instead and raising your voice at the end. So, j'ai mal, statement, a question. Vous avez mal? Are you hurt? Are you sore? Vous avez soif? Are you thirsty? Vous avez faim? Are you hungry? So, very easy to ask a question from there. J'ai 50 ans. to be 50. Now, when you talk about your age in French, you don't say I am, then the number. You say I have the number and then en for years. I have 50 years. J'ai 50 ans. J'ai 50 ans. Okay, now your turn. And if you can help this nursery teacher to find out what's wrong with all the babies in the nursery. Qu'est-ce qu'il a? Use the picture. Il a faim. Il a faim. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a? Elle a mal. Elle a mal. Qu'est-ce qu'ils ont? Ils ont soif. Ils ont soif. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a? Elle a chaud. Elle a chaud. Qu'est-ce qu'il a? Il a froid. Il a froid. Okay, now we're going to look at the other part of this lesson, which is how to turn a sentence from positive into a negative sentence. So in French, to turn from positive to negative, we use ne pas, but not next to each other. So ne pas. Ne becomes an apostrophe in front of a vowel. So it's essentially the same word, but it becomes an apostrophe. The E gets dropped in front of a vowel. So ne pas, ne pas. Let's see what happens with examples. So we start with a positive sentence. And we're going to go from I have to I don't have, or you have, you don't have, and so on. So we start with our pronouns, the person we're talking about, okay? Je becomes J apostrophe in front of a vowel. So it's essentially the same word. So je or J apostrophe. Then we've got tu for you, il or elle for he and she, nous for we, vous for you plural, and il or elle for they. Then we've got our verb avoir. So let's put the correct form of avoir next to each of these pronouns. So j'ai, tu as, il a or elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont or elles ont. So far we're just saying I have, you have, he or she has, we have, you have, they have. Now we want to turn that into saying I don't have, you don't have, etc. So what do? We're going to use your ne pas. Ne is going to go before the verb and pas after the verb, on each side of the verb. Okay, so let's put our ne in front of the verb. Our verb part here is in red. Est, a, avons, avez, on. That's the verb itself. So we put the ne in front of it. Here we go. And in this particular case, because we land on a vowel with the verb, est, a, they all start with a vowel, we use an apostrophe instead of ne. And then what we do, we put the pas on the other side of the verb. Here we are. So it goes je n'ai pas. We go back to je because we're not on the vowel anymore with the n apostrophe that we fitted in. Je n'ai pas, tu n'as pas, il n'a pas, elle n'a pas, nous n'avons pas, vous n'avez pas, ils n'ont pas, elles n'ont pas. So let's look at our examples again so that we get to see it in action. J'ai faim. Moi, je n'ai pas faim. J'ai soif. Moi, je n'ai pas soif. J'ai chaud. Moi, je n'ai pas chaud. J'ai froid. Moi, je n'ai pas froid. J'ai peur. Moi, je n'ai pas peur. J'ai mal. Moi, je n'ai pas mal. J'ai 50 ans. Moi, j'ai seulement 5 ans. I'm only 5. J'ai 50 ans. So if I pause on that one a bit, if you wanted to ask the question, you could say, vous avez 50 ans, but all you'd be asking is, are you 50? If you don't know the age at all and you want to find out someone's age, what you have to say is, vous avez quel âge? You have which age? Vous avez quel âge? Vous avez quel âge? If you want to find the age of somebody else, what age is he? Il a quel âge? Or she. Elle a quel âge? Or they. Ils ont quel âge? So you still change the part of avoir as you would normally, but then to ask the question, you use quel âge? Quel âge? À vous. So you're going to be traveling in a plane, for something that we're not too keen on doing these days. And the air hostess is going to ask you questions. Just answer them truthfully, the way you really feel right now at this moment in time. Vous avez soif? Vous avez chaud? Vous avez peur? Vous avez faim? Vous avez froid? Vous avez quel âge? Très bien. Et pour la prochaine fois, next time, we're going to be talking about your children, saying lots of different things that you can say now about your children. And also we're going to look at the immediate present, saying that you've just done something or somebody has just done something. So that's the plan for our next lesson. Again, don't forget to check the French Ignition website, join one of our French conversation groups in person or virtually, and please leave comments below. I'd be delighted to hear about how you're getting on with these lessons and whether they are helping. Hopefully they are helping. Ok, à la prochaine fois. Au revoir.